If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is March the 16th, 2022, and today the topic is Answer the Call. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Not too much to report. But one thing I did was an interview with my cousin on her podcast, and it was called Tips and Tricks. So hopefully that will be coming out real soon, and I'll be sharing that conversation. And hopefully, yeah, she'll be on GSL at some point as well, really soon. Um, me networking, doing a little this, a little that, hustling from home. You know how that goes. That's every day. Tried to grab some rest in between during the day. At some point, me and little man was all passed out. I guess hubby was passed out too. And then I guess we woke up around the time when he needed to head out or whatever. And so that was another thing. Um, just for those you all that care and, that was tuning in yesterday and heard my announcement about Pop. From what I'm understanding, he's doing fine. And, it's like nothing happened. I know my husband showed me the photos of the accident and the car. It don't look good, but I'm glad to hear that Pop is doing well, and yeah, I hope that keeps on going and everything like that. Anything else for yesterday? Not too much. It was funny because at one point, NJ gonna say, "Mommy, let's work out," and I'm like, It's not a workout day. I'm working out tomorrow. You can work out." It's like, Mommy's not working out today. um, but yeah, today is a workout day, so yeah, I guess that's on my schedule today. Um, and the other thing about him, just randomly, or random tidbit, no, she don't have nothing to do with anything that I know of. But anywho, he was reminding me of a young me, and it's crazy because um, now I recall doing these things when I was a little older, and he's doing it now at 3. So I'm just like, interesting. Well, long story short, the thing that he was doing was every now and then he'll look in the mirror and he's doing introductions or whatever, like it's a show. I'm like, is this kid? Because he's like standing in the mirror and he's like, "Hello, everyone. I'm NJ. This is Mommy. This is Puppy," which he refers to his little stuffed dog as Puppy. "And this is Papa." And, he's doing all of that. And I'm like, my goodness. I remember doing things like that. But again, I was like, uh, maybe elementary school, maybe middle school-ish. Because I would, I talked about this back when I did my, I was getting ready to do this vlog called Miracles Mirror. And I had a little preview of, or my commercial for it or whatever the case was. And I remember doing it with things like my school supplies. I would be in the in the mirror, pretending it was a camera and showing off my school supplies and all this type of stuff, which is crazy because that's literally all I do now. Talking to y'all, sharing different products in my groups and whatnot on the camera. I guess I was ahead of my time, y'all, ahead of my time because um, cell phones and whatnot wasn't out around then. Um, so yeah. But anywho, um, maybe that'll be a good transition into this. I'm not sure, but anyway, did my prayer meditation this morning. That was great. Nice to reflect on and everything. But unfortunately, I don't really remember it right now because my mind has been engulfed in answering the call. Um, I guess afterwards, after the prayer meditation, what stood out of my mind? Well, I thought about um the fact that like people are hitting me up for interviews and whatnot, or to be on their podcast or whatever the case is, and I'm just like, well, that's great, you know what I mean? Because I've reached out to people in the past and stuff, but um, and don't get me wrong, I'll still like when I see different posts or see different things, I'll still submit my information for people to consider to have me on. But every now and then, people will hit me up to be on. For example, even my cousin, um, with her podcast, I've been on there before, but um, this particular conversation that we had yesterday, she wanted to ask me about like balance and whatnot, which is an ongoing thing. People keep asking me about, I guess, how I balance everything, because I guess y'all see that I'm juggling multiple things. Um, and I mean, I guess I just share my little tidbits, or share my side of the story. But really, honestly, I don't feel like I do that much. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, I mean, how can I say it? Sometimes in the past I felt like I wasn't doing enough, right? And I told y'all now I feel like I'm content, like I'm cool, you know what I mean? And although I know that there's a lot of fruit and things flourishing in this season, in this time of my life, I understand that everything was like a process. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I'm doing it all today. It was like things over time has grown to be where they are today, and some things are just popping out, or you guys are seeing results of different seeds that had been planted in me years ago, or that I had been planting years ago. You're just seeing the different flowers or fruits or whatever, flourishing at the moment. Um, so that's all it is to me. But at the same time, I mean, with me getting this having this conversation or getting this question, um, I guess all I literally do is just share what I'm doing in the moment, and then what is helping me get more things done at one time right now. And so that's that. But ultimately, it led me back to this idea of, again, answering the call, because I was thinking about my gifts and whatnot, um, and I guess I've always been the type of person to try to use my gifts and talents and whatnot, and so that's again another reason why you might see a lot of different things from me, because I do think it's important to like use my gifts and talents and stuff, and so that's one thing. But yeah, so that's what pretty much led me to this conversation of answer the call. Now the thing is, I know those of you all that are look frequent juicers, you know what I'm saying, people that have been listening to me consistently or whatever the case is, this conversation isn't new. You might be tired of this conversation, but who knows, man? Maybe somebody new is going to listen to me or listen to the sound of my voice either today or at some point, and they're gonna have to hear this message. So I mean, because it came in my heart and mind today. The verses was resonating with me this morning, and so here we are once again. Miracle Sims, I'm here to tell you to answer the call. Um, One of the things that stood out in the conversation that I was having yesterday is the fact that, again, me walking in my purpose, right, and doing the things that I feel God has led me to do has helped other people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying that because I'm not trying to puff myself up in any way. I'm just telling you what happened. You know what I'm saying? And what the other people have said. And y'all can hear from yourselves on the show from Boomer, and you can also hear from Elizabeth. But even outside of them, there's still, other people that I'm working with that are saying the same things, that, they are thankful to be working with me. They are, and all these different things. And for me, I'm just like, hey, I'm thankful for you. The feeling is definitely mutual, because Lord knows I've tried to work with people over the years and build teams over the years, and it just didn't seem to work. And but lo and behold, I got all these people that are in all these different places. I call them my international dream team. As far as Pakistan, Kenya, Russia, um, and even Waterloo, Iowa. These are people that I'm working with all the time right now. And, again, to God be the glory for what he has done. And I guess, again, the important thing about answering the call is that it's beyond you. It's not just about you. It's about the people that you influence, the people that by you walking in the car, that you can touch. And again, like I said all the time as well, I don't know who listens to this. I don't know who you are, whoever you are, but I hope and pray that these things encourage you and inspire you, and everything like that. Again, this could be in the future. Like, I don't know. Right now it's 2022, but who knows? Maybe the person that this is going to be for somebody that's in 2030, whatever. I don't know. And that's the same thing, because I shared with you all, I want to say a few weeks ago, there was a blog that I read that was written, I think it was like in 2017, but it blessed me on that day here in 2022. And so I'm just saying, y'all, like, answer the call, y'all. Answer the call. If you don't hear nothing else I say today, answer the call, man. I was thinking before I went live, there was this scenario, or this, I don't know if you want to call it a vision, whatever it was. This thought came into my mind before I went live, and it was like of an annoying ringing phone. Can you imagine this annoying ringing phone and you never answer it? It's going to bug you. It's going to bother you. You're going to be like, man, this phone is still ringing. But it's up to you to answer it. And I guess this whole conversation is just like that, y'all. I mean, and I can't do nothing but share my little humble testimony and whatnot. And again, I mean, just to be quick about it or whatnot, long story short, just to tell you guys about Miracle years ago. Again, yeah, GSL was something that was on my heart and mind for years. And I was working towards it. I was, slowly answering the call. But it had been on my heart and mind for years. Even on top of that, writing or, creating books and whatnot, been on my mind for years. A lot of things. And then the crazy thing was, the more I did, because I would do all kinds of stuff. I would do gigs, I was being in a movie, I would do this, do that. And I just still would not feel fulfilled. I still wouldn't be content. There was still something bothering me about where I was in life. And I guess even where I was spiritually, and I could tell when I was off track, because there were times where it's like I would think back to my days, to the cultivation period. I would think back to that time in my life and be like, man, I was so much closer to God then. Or, man, I felt like I was walking in my purpose then. Even though all I was doing at that time was I was building my relationship with God. I was keeping notes about my single life. And I was every now and then be on YouTube talking. And I felt so much closer to God then, and I felt myself off track years afterwards. And I would think back on that time and like, man, I need to get back to that. I need to get back to doing it. And not knowing that this was going to, again, pop everything off, and that GSL and all of this was going to do what it's doing. But it would be that thing, that nagging, ringing phone in my life. And then finally answering the call in 2020. Best thing I ever did. Lord, I thank God every day for that, because again, like I tell y'all all the time, that led to so many other goals and dreams and things that had been on my heart and mind. And again, the people that I've met throughout the past couple of years, amazing people. No way I probably would have met, people that's been on the show, people that I'm working with. How else would I have met these folks if I had not answered the call? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, y'all, again, if you want to hear nothing else I say today, please, y'all, answer the call. You don't know what you holding up. You don't know. So answer the call, because guess what? If you don't, it's going to nag on you. I'm just being honest with you. Like, unless you one of those people that can just turn it off and try to deny it. But even still, let's talk about what the Bible got to say. So the interesting thing that I did this morning, I did define the word calling, and I used the second definition because obviously that's the one that resonated. And then I also defined the word vocation as well. I mean, I already done talked almost 15 minutes, but let me go ahead and just share those definitions real quick. Here we go. So calling says, or the second definition of it says, a strong urge towards a particular way of life or career, a vocation. And then when I define a vocation, it says a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career or occupation. And then from a biblical perspective, a definition I came across said a divine call to God's service or to the Christian life. So, yeah, if you put all those together, I mean, obviously they'll give you a little background on this word calling. You know, if you didn't understand what that meant or whatnot, or what I'm saying about answering the call, like, yeah, there might be a certain career that you're supposed to be in. There might be a certain thing you're supposed to be doing in the kingdom in regards to ministry. I don't know what that is for you, but you know I believe that deep within what it is. And yeah, you need to be walking in that. You need to be doing that. And here's some reasons why. So when we go to the Bible, Romans 11:29 says, "For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable." Now, y'all can define irrevocable if you need to, but that really stood out to me this morning. And the thing that came to my mind as I was writing it down was that this is how you can see people walking in gifts, right? Even if they're not following Christ. There's a lot of people out here doing good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you see, and you're like, well, they out here, they out here doing this and doing that, but they're not living the lifestyle, right? They're not living a godly life, but they're, you're doing good things. So you don't have to, do, that's what some people think. However, I guess when you really, really think about that word irrevocable, right, and you define that, if you don't know what it is, then you'll see that it means that, like, you can't be taken away. It's final, right? So that calling can be on your life, right, and it's irrevocable. So you walking in the call, even, how can I say, you could be walking in the call even if you're out of order. Like, you could be walking in the gifts that God has given you, even if you aren't fully following him in his will, his way. So that's one thing just to think about, because at the end of the day, I mean, how can I say this here? Like, it will behoove us to not only just do good stuff, but to fully be used by God, right? And to do do things his way and his will, or his will, his way, but yeah, y'all can let that marinate, man. I ain't gonna go too deep into that, because I mean, again, there's a lot to be said there, but that really stood out to me this morning when I came across it. 2 Peter 1:10 says, therefore, brothers, be all the more diligent to make your calling and election sure. For if you practice these qualities, you will never fail. I mean, yeah, I mean, God calls us all to, to different giftings and different things. And I mean, hey, in this verse here, I guess I'm just receiving that, he elected us, he called us, and that's up to us to make it sure, right, and be diligent in what he's given us to do. And as we do that, again, we don't have to be weary of well-doing and all that. We're going to never fail. And all these things are going to work together for our good and everything like that. Another verse to share this morning is Romans 12:4. It says, For as in one body we have many members, and the members do not all have the same function. I know I talked about this before here on the Juice. This concept is not new. But here's the thing about it. Again, everybody has their gift. Everybody has their position, X, Y, and Z. And everybody's thing is important. That's the thing as well. Like, so operate in your gift, right? Like, stop. Like, sometimes we try to go either above our pay grade or below our pay grade, or whatever the case is, and not be exactly where we need to be. And And that could be good and nice and all of that. But still, I mean, it's like a limiting thing to not be where you're supposed to be. Um, so, and again, you don't know what is limiting. Yeah, it could be limiting to you, right? But it could be limiting to, again, the people that you encounter, whoever you're supposed to bless uh, by being in that position or whatever the case is. So, y'all, there's plenty in the Go Deeper section to, peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Actually, there's even more verses beyond the Go Deeper section as well that you all can think about and everything. But, that's the juice, y'all. That is the juice. I hope they're hearing my little humble testimony again, right? And even hearing these things today, it pricks somebody's heart to answer the call, y'all. Again, if you listening to this morning, this is for you. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and make it personal and understand that, you know what? Miracle might be talking to me right now. And even that, hey, every now and then, look, to be honest, I be listening to these every now and then myself, and I be talking to myself. So I'm not, I'm not trying to just point fingers and be like, oh yes, I'm talking to you, and like I know everything or whatever. I'm just saying, that's what the Lord led me to this morning, and so that's what, that's the juice. That's the juice. The Bible verse of today is Psalm 91:2. It says, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in Him, and my God. In Him will I trust. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
This has been brought to you in part by Anointed Touch Health, Fitness, and Beauty. Eat right and exercise daily. Walk with God. Run from the devil. 1 John 20:20. You have an anointing from the Holy One. Visit anointedtouch-hfb.com for more information.